Guys, it's Nick with Reality Daydream. Today in our kitchen update, I want to talk to you about our flooring choices, why we chose what we did, some of the benefits to how we installed it, and then lastly, how we actually installed it. Check it out. If you guys have been following us around for a while, you know that we love our original maple hardwood floors. However, for the kitchen, that just wasn't going to work for us. It would be difficult for us to match perfectly, and we were really looking for something to be more durable and waterproof. We ultimately landed on this gray tile. It kind of has that concrete feel or stone feel, so it has that natural element that wood flooring also has. One of the cons that we didn't like about going with the tile is that it's cold to your feet. So that ultimately led us to using a Schluter Ditcher heat product. That way it removes that con for us. One of the benefits to having Schluter is that it's an uncoupling membrane. So the Schluter is this orange part here. And what it does, or what an uncoupling membrane is if you picture this being your subfloor, and then you have this uncoupling membrane, Schluter, there, and then your tile. What this does is it allows the wood to move, expand, and contract at a different rate than the stone. So if you didn't have an uncoupling membrane, what would happen is your wood would expand and it would try and expand with the tile. So either you would have a crack in your tile or in your grout joints. Earlier in the video, we talked about Schluter Ditcher heat and how we're going to use the Ditcher heat to warm the tile. And I just kind of wanted to take a minute and go over what that looks like. So Schluter uses electrical cable that is weaved throughout this Ditcher heat uncoupling membrane. So it weaves down and comes back, and then weaves down, comes back. But what that does is, as it's sending power through this electrical cable, there's a little bit of a resistance on the cable, and that causes the cable to warm up. That heat then is transferred through your tile floor and onto your feet to keep your feet nice and warm. This video is sponsored by Schluter. Before we go into too much detail on how we installed this Schluter, I just want you to know that Schluter has an outstanding selection of videos on how to install their product on their website. And Schluter also offers great classes, which Beth and I attended, and it made this installation a lot smoother. We started our tiling process by mixing the thin set per the bag instructions. Essentially, you're going to mix it with the correct amount of water until it's thoroughly mixed, and then you'll let it slake for 10 minutes, and you'll come back and mix it for an additional 3 minutes. Then we prepared the surface by wiping it down with water and a sponge. This helps to open the grain, and it gives you better adhesion for the thin set. As you can see here, I'm just globbing thin set onto the floor. What we're going to do is we're going to use the flat side of the trowel and really embed it into the subfloor. Once we're done with the flat side of the trowel, we'll use the notch trowel, which is a 1/4 by 1/4, and we'll comb the thin set. With the area combed, the size of our Schluter membrane, we grab the membrane and really embed the fleece lining into the thin set. With the membrane in place, we're using a roller with a bag of thinset on it to really embed that membrane backing into the thinset. You can also do this with a wooden float. However, we felt it was easier to use a roller than a wooden float. It's a good idea to check your coverage every once in a while, making sure you have 100% coverage on your fleece lining. Once all the membrane is in place, we measured out where we wanted our ditch reheat cable to go, marking our boundary areas away from the cabinets, walls, heating vents, and then we weaved the cable through the membrane. Every once in a while you'll get a chunk of thinset. You really want to break those out, that way there's not any pokey surfaces or something that could actually break the insulation on the heating cable. Once your ditch reheat cable is ran, we use this Curdy band. It really helps to make the flooring waterproof. Now we are ready to lay our tile. Like we laid the membrane, we'll use the flat side of the trowel to really embed the thinset into the membrane itself. And then we'll turn around and use the notches to comb the thinset. On this large format tile, I'm using a 3/8 by 3/8 notch, and I will comb both the thinset on the membrane and on the back of the tile itself. This really allows it to have a good bed under it and to make sure that you're getting adequate coverage. To help make sure our tiles were level and flush with each other, we use this tile leveling system. It consists of two parts. One is the plastic part, which has a breakaway spot on it, and then the second part is a cam, which goes through the plastic, leveling the tiles. With the thinset dry, you'll come back and using your shoe to break away the tile leveling system. Here she is in all of her glory. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you would, give us a big like and a subscribe down below.